there, fellow citizens. Welcome back to the channel. It's Zi-Tek here, and today we're diving into the Red Festival event. It's that time of year again, and you know what that means. Awesome sales. So let's grab your favorite CCU tool, get comfy, and let's check out what's in store for our wallets this round. Okay, first let's talk about the referral reward available during this event. This really is one of the best reward combos we've been given, guys. This time it's a Dragonfly Black, a full set of ADP heavy armor including a backpack and a Ravager shotgun, all color coordinated in the Red Alert paint scheme. So if you have a second account on the cusp of that $40 threshold, grab one of the following Warbond CCUs that I'm going to talk about in the future here and cash in on this reward. The Dragonfly is a $40 ship, so it's a great start to any CCU chain. That's an automatic $40 discount, of course, if you are certain about your CCU chain, because, again, just as a reminder, any referral reward ship that's used in a CCU chain can't really be melted if you decide you've made a mistake down the line. What I try to do is build up my CCU chain, make sure I'm sure, triple sure, quadruple sure, whatever sure that was amounted to, and then I apply them. I've made one mistake doing this in the past and I refuse to do it again. And of course, if any of you have been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that that is my ion. That is my greatest mistake. But anyway, the Dragonfly is a $40 ship, so again, it's a fantastic start to a CCU chain, but just make sure you want to use it because it is not meltable. Also, another quick reminder, whatever account uses your referral code needs to spend a total of $40 to get the reward. The RSA website states that they have to purchase, they being your friend that uses your code, has to purchase a package, but this is not actually the case currently. Again, that can change at any time, but right now that's not how it works. That second account just needs to meet that $40 threshold to be considered a referral, in which case you both get that reward. First up, we have the Carrack. This is a $40 discount over the normal pricing. The Hull D is a concept ship, so it's generally speaking a no-go over here. The M2 Herc seems to be the best choice and the only real choice. The rest of these are leaving way too much on the table. You spend 40 to save 40. It's not great, but I don't see any other options here, unless, of course, you wanted to wait for the Hull D to increase in price after it's released, but we're talking 550 to 600. It may go up to 600, so I don't even know if waiting on the Hull D would be a good choice here. Yeah, it's not a killer deal, but it's the best Warbond CCU right now that's available. So again, if you're new to the game, this may make a lot of sense to you. If you've been playing it for a while, you may have some better upgrades from some of the older CCUs that were available, but I don't know of any recent memory Warbond CCUs that are much better than this. So look, if you're going for the Carrack and you can fit the M2 into part of your chain, then this one does make sense. Go ahead and grab it. Next up is the 600i Explorer. This is a $30 discount over the normal pricing here. The Prowler makes the obvious choice. It's been available quite a few times as well. Again, the 600i Explorer is often repeated in the Warbond CCU game. It's come up quite a few times in the past, and it makes a great link if you're going to something at a higher level, at a higher price point. It's a good one to have because it comes up so often. Prowler is a good choice. It's had a few in the past, Warbond CCUs, of course. The 600i Touring is $5 less savings, and as far as I recall, has never had a Warbond CCU. So again, you're leaving $5 on the table, and it's less likely it will come up in a Warbond CCU in the future. The Reclaimer, you're leaving a whole lot of money on the table for this one, but it has had a couple Warbond CCUs in the past, so I suppose as a second choice, maybe that would work for you. But again, you're leaving a whole lot on the table. You're saving 30 and you're spending 45. That's not really great in my opinion, so I would not recommend that one. And then the Genesis, of course, is a concept ship, so I would not recommend that on the left. What else? I suppose you could wait for the Genesis to be released, increase in price, and then see if it would be less than spending. What would you spend now? So for the Prowler, here's the the speculation part of the game, right? For the Prowler, you literally spend $5 and you save 30. So if the Genesis goes up to $470, and I mean that's possible, but it seems to me like it'd be somewhere between $445 to $465 maybe. That's kind of what I'm thinking for the Genesis. But let's say it goes to $475 and then you pay a $5 non-Warbond CCU to do the upgrade in the future and just wait for this to happen. That's a speculation you can make as well, right? Again, Reclaimer's 400 right now, not a good choice. 600i Touring has never had a Warbond CCU, so it's not a good choice. The Prowler makes a lot of sense because it's had Warbond CCUs available already, and it's only $5 upgrade right now. I mean, that's a no-brainer for this one. All right, next up is the Mole for a $20 discount over the standard pricing. This one's kind of in a weird situation, right? So the Mole has come up a few times, which is good. But the rest of these ships below it, like the Harbinger, the Sentinel, the Blade, those have only ever come up once on a Warbond CCU. The Retaliator Bomber, which is not as good of a discount, again, it matches these 275 price range here, that's only come up twice, right? And this is a Retaliator Bomber, not the standard Retaliator, just for those that are, again, new to the game or new to the CCU game specifically. There's a Retaliator that is in concept, which is supposed to be a modular ship, which is not this one. This one's released to the game. This is a Retaliator Bomber. Okay. Having said that, 275, first off, you're leaving a lot on the table. You're spending 20 to save 20. That's not a great ratio in my opinion. The Harbinger is the best choice available here. You spend $5 new and you're going to save 20 automatically on the CCU link. But again, the Harbinger's only ever come up one other time in the past for a Warbond CCU, so it makes it kind of rare. That is problematic for those of us that are building multiple chains that want to use this. Like if you're going, one of them, let's say one of your chains is going to a Mole, one of them's going to a 600i, one of them's going to, I don't know, whatever. Can you do the Pioneer? I don't think you can do a Pioneer. Let's say an M2, for instance, right? So you've got 3 different chains that kind of need a link here. It might be a while before this Harbinger comes back around, so you got to think about that in how you're building your chains. Again, Retaliator Bomber, you're spending 20 to save 20, but again, it's only had 2 Warbond CCs in the past, and this is a really, really old ship. Well, I mean, the Harbinger, all of the Vanguard series are pretty old as well. It just seems this is a rough spot to be in because they're pretty rare. And again, the Polymitovac, even though it's the same price as these above it, the 275 price range, it is a concept ship and this savings will reduce. So if you click this, you think you're saving 20, you're going to save way less, maybe even nothing at all if you use the Polymitovac here on the left. We also have the 400i available in a Warbond. It's a $20 discount. The railing is a bad choice on this one, guys. My rule always is never use a concept ship on the left column when doing any type of a Warbond CCU. It's just a no-go. You would spend 5 on this one and you would probably save $0. So that would be negative. Definitely a negative one. That would be terrible. Terrapin and Defender, I think the Terrapins had 2 and the Defenders had 3 Warbond CCUs before. Both excellent choices. They've come up often enough, I suppose. And they're the same price. So again, if you've already got a Defender, obviously that's a no-brainer. If you've already got a Terrapin CCU, obviously that's a no-brainer. So take your pick on these. I think they're equally probable to come back. And they're, again, if you already have it, it's a no-brainer. The Hurricane has had a price increase in the past, and you're leaving more money on the table. Again, it's only a $20 discount for the 400i CCU this round, and you're spending 20 for this one versus less. You only spend 10 to save 20 for the Terrapin or the Defender. So either one of these are equal choices, guys. It's nice to have some options on that one. Next up, we have the Hornet Heartseeker, which seems to make an appearance every time every Valentine's Day or this time of year, which is pretty cool. So it is a $15 discount over the standard pricing here. Let's see what we have for options. Okay, so the MIS, Wildfire, Cuddy Blue, all at this $175 range. None of those have ever had a Warbond CCU available. These top three here would be a bad choice. I thought the Cuddy Blue had in the past, but it has not. None of these have had a Warbond CCU. I think I thought that because I have one of the old free $0 CCUs where they used to have a like-for-like exchange so you could try new ships out. Those have all gone away, gosh, years ago. I think 2016 or 17 maybe. So it's been a while since those were available, but I think that's why I thought the Cuddy Blue had one in the past, but it has not. No Warbond CCU anyway. Freelancer Miss, Wildfire, none of these have. The Vulture obviously has. If you're new to the game, you've probably seen this one. In fact, it's been available quite often as of late. I think it's been available like 3 times already since its release. So this is an obvious choice, guys. That's a no-brainer. It's $10 for a $15 discount. Not super good, but again, if you need this in your chain, it makes sense to grab it now. Going down that price stack, you have the Car 12 for another. You're spending 15 to save 15. Look, that's a 1-for-1 kind of ratio. Again, not great, but if you already have the Car 12, it might make sense for you, right? Anything lower than that, well, this would be the same price as Saber. Gladiators, I mean, you're leaving so much money on the table for these that I just would not recommend going past the Car 12 and Saber. Yeah, I would pick the Vulture. I think that's a no-brainer, guys. Do the Vulture unless you have some obvious setup that makes one of these other ones work. Last but not least is the Prospector. Unfortunately, yet again, there are no ships that have a Warbond CCU that are priced lower than the Prospector. That's kind of a bummer. I think they really could surprise us during Invictus with a bunch of ships around the $65 to $95 range. That would be fantastic in case there's any chance SIG is listening to this video. That would be great, guys. Come on, we need some lower and mid-price ships. So jumping back to the Prospector itself, this is a $10 discount. Prospector is similar in many respects to the Heartseeker as far as the CCU game goes. A lot of these vehicles below it have never had a Warbond CCU. In fact, the Hornet Tracker has not, the Whole B has not, the Ballista has, but these other variations of the Ballista have not. The Dur has not. The Cuddy Red is the only other one here that has, and I think that's only had maybe one, same as 350R. So again, the Dur is one that I have one of those old free CCUs to, or $0 CCUs. So I might pick something like that, even though theoretically you would leave some on the table if you had to buy it now, but it's neither here nor there. The Whole B, I mean, it's never had one, and I mean, there's no real events that are kind of focused around kind of discounts on like the blue collar aspects, shipping, trading, etc. The Prospector seems to come up, the Mole seems to come up, but none of the Freelancers seem to come up, right? None of the whole series seem to have come up. I don't know the chances for a Tracker, a Whole B, either one of these different variations on the Ballista, or even the Freelancer Dur, guys. If you already have the Cutlass Red, I suppose this one would make sense. Spend 10 to save 10. Again, if you already have it, yes, it makes sense. If you don't have it, at least it's a better availability ratio than any of these others besides the Ballista. Again, the Ballista, gosh, I think that was when it came out, when it was released, or at least right after it was released, it had some Warbond CCUs available. Haven't seen it since. It's been at least 3 years, 2 years, at least 2 years, guys, since I've seen that. So, I mean, I would pick that because I've got a couple of them already, but folks that are new to the game, wow, it's a bit of a speculation for you. So let me see if I can boil this down a little bit for anybody new entering the game. Well, the Hornet Tracker is a ship that is a Pathfinder, so it's an exploration ship specifically engineered to go into regions that have not yet been explored and kind of map out the paths and relay that data back. That's not in the game yet, right? So at least there's a chance that all of the pathfinding and exploration ships will be discounted when that enters the game. look, this is a theory. It's just a theory. So maybe that one gives a leg up on some of the others at the $140 price range. But other than that, man, I mean, yeah, the Freelancer Dura would be in that same position, right? Because it's an expedition and exploration ship, same as a tracker. So yeah, I mean, I guess maybe both of those would have an equal chance. I think the Holby has a less of a chance, but look, I'm not psychic. I don't know this. I don't know what the probability is of any of these ships coming back. All I can do is report on what's been available in the past. And the rest of these, I mean, even the Cutlass Red, I mean, it's 10 for 10 versus these that are, 5 for 10. It's up to you guys. If I had to speculate today, I'd probably go with the tracker because, again, it's only $5, and at least there's a feasible possibility that they would be discounted in the future. That's my best guess on that one, guys. Jumping over to the Warbond ship section of standalone ships. It's basically a slight discount. You can see this one is the only one available is the 890 Jump Warbond. It is a $60 discount over the standard pricing. The standard one is sold out, so apparently that was much more limited stock than the limited stock Warbond one. I don't know, maybe people are buying this one with in-store credit or something, or who knows, man. If you have enough money to plop down almost $1,000 on a digital asset like this, maybe you just don't care about a discount, so you bought those first. I don't know. But hey, it's a $60 discount. If you just want it now, it is available, so go grab it. There are no other Warbond standalone ships available in the store today. So there are 3 new packs available that have a Warbond. The gist is they're a combo pack of a big ship and a small ship or a snub fighter with a paint scheme. I think one of them comes with an armor as well. It's pretty cool. It's a slight discount. It's not huge. If this is something that you're interested in and you specifically want those paints, I suppose you can go ahead and grab it. One thing I definitely did want to mention is there are a shipload of freaking paints. I've never seen this many paints available. I'm going to scroll through this as I talk. There is an insane amount of paints available in the store. I don't think I have ever seen this many paints available. It's kind of mind-boggling, actually. I don't think that it's all of the paints that have ever been available. For instance, I specifically looked for the Hello Kitty type paint scheme for the Dragonfly because that's like one of the most rare ones available. I did not see it here. Maybe there will be an update and it'll pop up or something, but I didn't see it, so I will definitely validate that it's not all paints that have ever been available in the store, but there's a whole bunch of them. So if you like buying paints with some of your in-store credit or whatever that you have left over and using that paint for a while and then exchanging it at a later date, now is definitely the time to go and grab those temporarily. Or if you like buying skins in the games you play, then obviously this is a perfect opportunity for you to grab nearly anything that's ever been available before for just about every ship that you can imagine. All right, citizens, that wraps up our dive into the Red Festival. We've covered everything from the referral rewards to the incredible selection of CCUs and ridiculous amount of paints available. As always, if there's any changes in the CCU lineup, I will keep you in the loop. So stay tuned and have a great weekend, everybody. Zi-Tek out.